As much as I got love from Oklahoma because that's where I'm originally from, I got to give Oklahoma another L. Oklahoma has presented some very interesting stories when it comes to child abuse specifically. And this one I don't think is going to be any exception. This one has no explanation. It has no rhyme or reason to it. We don't even have the child's name or face or anything. That's how weird this story is. But before we get into the details, if you've never been to my channel before we talk about this woman who literally looks like she ate a highlighter and it infected her hair, let me give you guys a disclaimer. Some viewers may find the following content offensive and controversial. The information in this video comes from multiple sources, including court records, official police charges, news web articles, and interviews. This video commentary also contains my personal opinions about the facts of this story. The point is to use this story as a cautionary tale in hopes of preventing tragedies like these to children going forward. Viewer discretion is advised. That is your official disclaimer. And y'all know one of my favorite sources for news is lawandcrime.com, so that's where we're getting this article from, so thank you very much. The individual that you guys see on my screen, and I had to blur out this baby's face because we think this is the correct child, but we don't know it for a fact. So until I get accurate information on that, I'm going to redact the face on that child. Ashley Rowland is the person in this story. Like, it looks like she has one of those, I said it looked like she ate a highlighter. Like her face, her hair was dipped in, one of them fluorescent highlighters. That's just what it looked like to me. She is allegedly 39 years old. That is a hard 39 in the face. And I don't want y'all to feel bad for me talking bad about her, because guess what she did to her kid? She gave away her kid to a stranger, allegedly. I think she's lying, but nonetheless. She is allegedly 39 years old out of Oklahoma, and she's been arrested in connection with the disappearance of her young daughter more than 2 years ago. Why are we just finding out about this is beyond me. Allegedly giving the then 2-year-old girl to a man that was selling her drugs. It just don't get much dumber than that, right? But nonetheless, Ashley Rowland was taken into custody last week and charged with child abandonment in connection with the disappearance of her daughter, who authorities said has not been seen since 2022, Tulsa CBS affiliate KOT TV reported. Now, according to a report from the Oklahoma City ABC affiliate KOCO, which I think is Channel 4 if I'm not mistaken, agents, hold on, lost my page here. We're going to get back there. Agents with the Oklahoma Department of Human Services in April 2023 were tasked with taking custody of the toddler, but weren't able to locate this baby. The agents were able to locate and get in touch with Rowland at a residence in Moore, Oklahoma, which is located about 10 miles south of OKC. When they made contact with Rowland, she allegedly claimed that the little girl was staying at her father's home in Georgia. However, authorities said they were later able to determine that Rowland was lying about the whereabouts of her daughter and contacted the Moore Police Department. And during a subsequent interview with detectives, Rowland allegedly admitted that in April of 2022, she gave her daughter to an individual named Carlos. Some random fool drug dealer named Carlos. Carlos for drugs. Your child for drugs to Carlos, and you don't know a phone number, an address, or nothing. So you thought that little of your child. If you ask me, this is the type of shit that I believe needs a life sentence in prison if you're going to be this damn dumb. Okay? We already have children who are being stolen across the country, let alone you giving your children away, your legacy away. You're disrespecting your family, the child's father. Won't give him a chance, but you'll give Carlos a chance, right? Like, just the addiction of drugs cannot be, there ain't no drug that's that damn good. I'm sorry, it's just not. I refuse to believe it. Maybe I ain't done enough drugs, okay? Anyway, she admitted that she gave her baby away to some fool named Carlos. She further stated she believed it was possible that Carlos could be the girl's biological father, but she did not actually know. According to KOCO, that's what they reported. So here's the thing. If she thinks that's her baby dad, how does she not know how to catch up with him? Again, that's pathetic. The highest level of patheticism. Rowland allegedly said that she had not seen her child since giving her child to Carlos, who was selling her methamphetamine at the time. She's got a meth face, right? KOTV reported. She also was not able to tell investigators anything about the man except that she believed he was planning on traveling to Mexico and he did not have identification papers for the child. But this is who you had unprotected sex with. So you just sleep with anybody and just do anything, and your box is just available for anybody who got a little bit of meth. Is that the way that goes? That is, what do we call that? We got a hashtag for that. What's our hashtag for that? Let me see. Hashtag when you date hillbillies, you date death. Hashtag hoodbillies. Hashtag snowbillies. Hashtag methbillies. Yes? Police reportedly told KOTV that the child would currently be 5 years old, but they do not know if she's still in the country or whether she's even alive or not. This is a very active case we're working on diligently, the department said in a statement to the station. All leads are being investigated in relation to the location of the child, and if you have any information, please contact the Moore, Oklahoma Police Department. Oklahoma DHS reportedly told KOCO that the department cannot comment on specifics of the case, but said the entire situation was heartbreaking and unimaginable. Here's another insult to injury. Rowland is currently being held in the Oklahoma County Detention Center in lieu of a $3,000 bond. And I'm going to tell you, Oklahoma, because I'm going to be down there this weekend, I think that y'all got that wrong. If I need to go down there to the county, or whoever it is that I need to talk to ask questions, I'm just curious how y'all can't provide. If you're looking for a child, a missing, lost, stolen child, you can't give us a name, you can't give us a picture, you can't give us a height, you can't give us a clothing description. You're looking for a child and it's imperative that a life is in danger, and you give us zero information about how to track this child down. No Amber Alerts, no nothing. Nothing at all. A $3,000 bond. So you're telling me that's what this child's life is worth when this child has been put in danger by her mother. It could be a life and death situation. I'd say that bond probably needs to be closer to no bond. She shouldn't have an opportunity to get out. Because guess what? $3,000, a $300 bond by anybody feeling sorry for this sad sack of crap can get her out of jail real quick. I just think that's ridiculous, and I think Oklahoma got this very wrong. Let me give you guys the fair usage, and then we'll go from there. Federal law allows citizens to reproduce, distribute, or exhibit portions of copyrighted motion pictures, videotapes, or video discs under certain circumstances without the authorization of the copyright holder. This is called fair use. It is allowed for purposes of criticism, news reporting, teaching, and parody, which doesn't infringe of copyright under 17 U.S.C. 107. And ladies and gentlemen, we are live, so here's what I need y'all to do. I need y'all to hit that thumbs up, please, and share this. We need to try to reach more people. We need these stories to go viral. I need your help. We are live. Please hit that thumbs up. Leave a comment. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already done so, if you want to be able to type in the live chat, okay? Here we go. Let's take a look at the news videos. I got quite a few news videos, but let's hear what they had to say.
A 2-year-old given away by her own mother.
Police say the child was handed over to a man she was buying meth from. Now, years have gone by and nobody has seen the man or the child.
News 4's Hunter Elise is on Crime Watch with details. Hunter.
Jolene and Kevin, court papers detail how the Department of Human Services.
I mean, I hear what y'all are saying. Y'all said she should have got $1 million bond or no bond. I would say no bond, because $1 million bond, because we don't know that this child has been murdered or anything like that. That's usually when you get those $1 million bonds. But $3,000 bond just seems way too low. Let me ask y'all this. If you were to go into Walmart and go, I don't know, go steal some groceries, I guess. You think they would give you a $3,000 bond? That sounds about like what you get a $3,000 bond for. A missing child that you gave away for drugs ain't a comparable $3,000 bond, if you ask me. A lot of y'all are saying no bond. She knows how to get him if she wants her meth. So here's another thing, because fentanyl is a thing that's really prevalent in the country right now, right? So if you know that you're getting meth and this man hadn't gave you no fentanyl in order to kill you or whatever the case is, so if you know that you're getting good meth from this dude, you know how to get in contact with this man. This can't be your first time doing this, right? So I agree with you, Tanea. She has to know how to get in touch with this man. Every bit of this sounds wrong, and I hope they find this baby. Let's hear what the news had to say. Let's go.
Services started looking into the case last April. After an investigation and questioning, Ashley Rowland was arrested by Moore police.
A child missing. Her mother, Ashley Rowland, under investigation for allegedly giving her away to a man she was buying meth from. The court papers say in April of 2022, investigators learned a child was missing. A year later, DHS got involved but couldn't find Rowland or her child. They eventually tracked her down at an address in a Moore neighborhood. Rowland told investigators her child was with her father in Georgia. Officers later found that wasn't true. When Rowland was questioned again, she gave a new explanation, this time claiming she gave her daughter, who was 2 at the time, to a man named Carlos, who she was buying drugs from. Rowland claiming Carlos was the possible father. She also admits she was on drugs and was buying drugs from Carlos when she gave her daughter to him. Court documents say Carlos told Rowland he was going back to Mexico. Now, Moore police are doing everything they can to find the girl, saying this is a very active case that we are working diligently on. All leads are being investigated in relation to the location of the child. DHS couldn't comment specifically on the case, but says situations like those described in this affidavit are heartbreaking and unimaginable. Like the rest of the community, Oklahoma Human Services reels in concern for this child's safety.
Ashley Rowland says she hasn't seen Carlos or her daughter since April of 2022. The little girl would be 5 now. Police were unable to share any photos with us. Rowland also couldn't tell investigators anything that would help them identify Carlos, including his last name or a good description of him.
Yeah, Abby and Jess, a judge found that Ashley Rowland needs to post a $100,000 bond on a child abandonment charge. But by the time all the paperwork was done, Rowland was already out of jail on a $3,000 bond that she was handed when she was booked. Now, one child advocate tells me it's just not good enough.
Far too many of these kids fall through the cracks.
39-year-old Ashley Rowland arrested last week for child abandonment after police say she admitted to giving her.
So y'all heard that. She got out on the $3,000 bond. I told y'all that's really not a lot at all. It's super easy to get out.
2-year-old daughter to a man selling her meth. She was released Tuesday morning after posting a $3,000 bond. But court records show on that same day, a judge ordered Rowland to post a $100,000 bond. KOCO reached out to the judge. His office says the paperwork wasn't completed in time, and now an arrest warrant will be issued. They said Rowland would have to be taken back into custody.
So $100,000 actually sounds more correct. So basically, they let her out mistakenly on a $3,000 bond, and now they're going to have to go back and rearrest her. That's just silly as hell that they got that wrong. It just don't seem like they're taking this very seriously.
Then post that higher bond he ordered. Child advocates say she shouldn't have been booked on that low of a bond in the first place.
Right. They need to do what they can to make sure that she is detained and that she is assisting in trying to locate this child.
Court documents say Rowland told police she hasn't seen the little girl since April 2022 and that she gave the child to a man named Carlos who may be in Mexico.
After 2 years, you just don't know. And the fact that this went unreported, where were family members? Where were neighbors? Anybody who suspected this child was in danger by law was supposed to pick up the phone and make that call.
Documents say the investigation began in April 2023 when DHS was asked to pick up the child but couldn't find her. Now, more than 1 year later, police say they're actively searching for her, and she would now be 5 years old.
If a child is missing, there need to be alerts issued. You need to issue an Amber Alert, do what you can, figure out the way to age the child from the last known photo, if there is a photo. The stories you hear on these cases, there's never a good outcome. No matter what happens, the child, if found, is going to undergo years of therapy at best.
Now, Oklahoma City Police confirmed today they are assisting the Moore Police Department with this case. Now, we've been asking the Moore Police Department for the name of that child, a photo, something to help find her. They say that they're not releasing that. Reporting live, Elise Jones, KOCO 5 News. A little girl missing for more than 2 years. Police in Moore investigating all leads to help find her. Moore police say they arrested 39-year-old Ashley Rowland last week after she admitted she gave the child to a man she was buying meth from. This affidavit claims in April 2023, DHS was asked to pick up the little girl but couldn't find her. DHS got in contact with Rowland at this house in Moore. That's when Rowland claimed the child was, quote, with her father in Georgia. DHS learned that wasn't true. The next time Rowland was interviewed by police, she admitted she gave the child away to a man named Carlos and that she hadn't seen him or the girl since April 2022. Rowland told investigators Carlos could be the child's father, but she wasn't sure. She says she doesn't know his last name or have any identifiable features for police to find him, but that he was going to Mexico. Now the people living on this street say they see children in the yard where Rowland was arrested every once in a while, but they don't really know her or the family. KOCO reached out to DHS about the case. They said they can't comment on the investigation, but the situation is heartbreaking and unimaginable, and they're grateful for those working to find her. The affidavit says that little girl would now be 5 years old. We asked Moore police if they can release the child's name or a photo to help in the search for her. They weren't able to yet. Now, Rowland is in the Oklahoma County Jail on a $3,000 bond. Reporting, Elise Jones, KOCO 5 News.
Last week about a woman who was arrested accused of giving her child away to a man she bought drugs from. Fox 25's Grant Palmer joins us live in the studio. Grant, what are the new updates in this case?
Yeah, Wendy, so the mother, Ashley Rowland, was arrested last week but posted bail just earlier this week, only to the tune of $3,000. According to court documents, it all started at these apartments in Moore in April of 2022, where it was learned that a child had not been seen in several years. A year later, the Oklahoma Department of Human Services obtained a pickup order. While they weren't able to find the child, they were able to find her mother, Ashley Rowland, at a residence off Regency Boulevard with the help of the Moore Police Department. Rowland told them that the child was with her father in Georgia, but she was interviewed again after authorities learned Rowland was lying. This time, Rowland told police she gave her daughter, who was 2 at the time, to a man she was purchasing meth from, and that she was on drugs heavily at the time she gave the child away. She identified the man as Carlos, who told her he was going back to Mexico the last time she saw him, which was in April of 2022. Last week, Rowland was booked into the Oklahoma County Jail, and authorities were working on raising her bail to $100,000. However, Rowland was able to get out before.
So basically, the judge on that Tuesday set the bond at $100,000. But by the time they had set the bond, the person had already bonded out of jail.
Opgran says this is because of what's called the bond schedule.
There's a number of crimes charges that you get booked in on have automatic bonds set. And so then if they want to raise that, they have to hold a hearing in order to raise the bond.
DHS wasn't able to speak to any specifics on this case per policy, but sent me a statement saying in part, quote, "Situations like those described in this affidavit are heartbreaking and unimaginable. The agency is grateful to our law enforcement partners for their continued work to find her and as they seek justice in her disappearance." And I spoke with Katie Sylvester, the bailiff of the special judge assigned to this case, Kevin McCrae. She tells me Rowland is due back in court January 6th for an arraignment where she will have to post $100,000 or she will remain in custody. Reporting in studio, Grant Palmer, Fox 25 News.
So here's what I'm hoping in conclusion with this story. To DHS or whoever it is down there, OKC, Moore, Oklahoma, whatever, if y'all are really trying to find this child, y'all should have found a way. There should be an emergency system to where even if y'all feel like y'all can't release the information of this child, you got to put a picture out there. They got to know who they're looking for. If they see her, they got to be able to say something. How would you know? You have no clue. Nothing to go off at all. A picture, a name, nothing. But this woman absolutely knows who has her kid. I think she's lying, and I think they need to, keep her in prison. Keep her in jail, keep her downtown, wherever it is that they're going to put her at, until we get Carlos's name, his email address, how you catch up with this little meth dealing son of a gun, and catch up with this baby. And this woman should never have access to children. She should never have access to ovaries or semen ever again. She's a terrible person, in my opinion. And we're going to continue to advocate for justice. So stay tuned on this story. It's out of Oklahoma, so I definitely am going to hold this close to my heart until we find this child. And as soon as we get information, if you have information, the afcmatters@gmail.com. If y'all got family members or cousins or anybody of hers, if y'all have the correct information, email it to me, send it to me. I'll be more than happy to post it. But send it to me to afcmatters@gmail.com, okay? Keep that baby in your prayers. Thank you.